Good? Okay. Good evening. Welcome to the Sunman Dearborn Community School Corporation Board of Trustees meeting on this June the 12th, 2025. We will start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. First item would be public comments. I'm going to assume there are no public comments. Okay. We'll move on to our consent agenda. Dr. Jackson?
Yes, in your packets, you have the minutes from the May 8th board meeting. You have the claims for payment. You have a revised personnel. There was a copy on your seat as well, the highlighted changes. We have one staff member requesting a medical leave. We have the following recommendations for employment: Jennifer Robbins, East Central High School teacher; Allie McCool, East Central Middle School teacher; Marissa Johnson, Bright Elementary teacher; Gina Rennekamp, North Dearborn Food and Nutrition Manager; and Jennifer Warren, Bright Elementary teacher. We have the following resignations: Brandon Lovelace, East Central High School teacher; Carol Fox, East Central High School custodian; DJ Stroud, East Central High School pack technician; Elsie Gerhart, North Dearborn instructional assistant; Mallory Hummer, Summit Elementary teacher; Jeannie Rennekamp, North Dearborn Food and Nutrition associate; and Beverly Nunier, North Dearborn Food and Nutrition associate. And one retirement is Barbara Bauman, North Dearborn Elementary teacher. My packet's out of order, sorry. Give me 1 second here. And we have some overnight field trips. We have the FFA attending the state convention at Purdue University. Boo. Just kidding. Departing June 17th and returning June 19th. That's just a note of humor. We have the FFA member retreat departing July 7th and returning July 9th. And we have the choir, who will be going to Orlando, the Disney Music Festival, departing March 29th and returning April 2nd. I recommend approval of the consent agenda items.
The wage report.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's what that was. I thought that was something else. I'm sorry. We also have the wage report. Sorry, it wasn't out of order. I thought that was the non-certified handbook. We are recommending that the certified employees receive a 1.5% increase in their wages for the 25-26 school year. So you have that wage report as well. Now I recommend approval of the consent agenda items.
Okay. Back to a motion for that.
I'll motion, sorry.
Just checking in with you. Okay.
Yep.
We have a motion. Do we need to have a second? Oh, Mr. Davis, I think, beat you to the punch. Okay, any discussion on the consent agenda? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. All right, moving on to our action items. Attendance program update.
Yes, so the board already approved the handbooks, and this affects the middle school, high school. They had a Dearborn County attendance meeting, and they're recommending one change, which would be a change in the handbook, so I'm just bringing that to you. When a student gets to 9 unexcused, they're supposed to receive 1 day what's called ACDC, which is the alternative school down in Lawrenceburg. They're having two problems with that. One is in April and May, it was filling up, and so they weren't able to do it. And two, they think maybe there's a better consequence for unexcused than that. So they want to make that change, and that's countywide. So they want to change that in the handbooks where it's 1 day ACDC or an alternative consequence. So that will be middle school, high school, grades 6 through 12.
Who chooses the alternative? We do?
We would choose that.
You
Yeah.
choose
It'd
it
probably be an
internally?
instant suspension is what it would be.
Okay, got it. Okay.
So I recommend approval of that.
All right. Do we have a motion? Thank you, Mr. Davis. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Ms. Hilton, thank you. Any discussion? All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item 5.2, non-certified handbook.
Yes, Mary Ann Baines will be presenting this to the board for recommended changes.
As you approved on the wage report, the first change in the handbook's gonna be the increase in the wages, the 1.5%. The only exception to that is the athletic worker, athletic supervision, and teacher sub rates. Those are daily rates, and I spoke with Mr. Moore, the athletic director, and then I also did check the sub rates on the surrounding schools, and we're right where we need to be. And since Mr. Moore's, a lot of his are ranges depending on the hours that they spend supervising, he said that it is encompassing enough that he can leave it as it is. So that was the first change. As you know, we do the health insurance contribution. January 1 is when we change that. So we're updating the handbook to what you approved January 1 of '25, which is the $10,400 for each non-certified staff member that chooses to enroll in the medical insurance. And then we also left in the handbook that we will continue the HSA contributions. Paid time off on delayed days section, I replaced that with the inclement weather days. If an employee has scheduled to take a day off, a personal or sick day, and then we end up having a 2-hour delay, then they're only charged for the number of paid time off hours that they would have missed had they worked that day. So, and then I give you an example there. The fourth change is I added an Appendix B. It's a chart that shows each job position that we have and what they need to do on inclement weather, whether it be a report on time, whether they report at all. And then it also talks about the professional development days, who reports, who has to stay the whole day and who doesn't. The personal paid time off section, I changed that to say that taking personal hours immediately before or after an extended break may be approved by the superintendent. Before it just said administrator. So Dr. Jackson will be approving those if there's some type of an extenuating circumstance. And then lastly, I removed the emergency school closing section because it's now addressed in the inclement weather section. And then I had a copy of the handbook in the packet. So do you have any questions?
I do not. Anyone else have any questions regarding the handbook?
Recommend approval.
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Gellert. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Bielak. I'll ask. Any discussion? All right then. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Moving right along to item 6, building project update.
Yes, good evening, everyone. First of all, I just want to thank all of our staff. Pretty much everyone in some way or another this summer was impacted by either movement or packing up, some limitations. So just really want to extend the thank you out to them because everyone was kind of touched and impacted on that. And it's all worth it in the end, but when we go through the process, it does take some extra effort, and I really appreciate it. We got a good team, and everyone was cooperative, and it's just a pleasure to work with everyone. A couple updates. Here we sit in North Dearborn. There's probably the least amount going on here as opposed to the other buildings. Just want to give you some highlights at each one. So at Bright, we started early on the playground work a couple weeks early. Got a good start on that, and we got fencing, getting ready for the port in place, and new equipment, new playground equipment in there. Got a lot of extensive HVAC work going on with air handling units, working on new controls. The HVAC down there is, for the most part, offline. We've got temporary cooling units for the office staff, and then we're running dehumidifiers to help control that and moving a lot of air with fans. So we've had mild temperatures, which has been beneficial to us to this point. So things are pretty comfortable down there. And then Bright will also this summer get a new monument sign installation, and with that, all three elementaries are getting new signs, so that you'll see those go up as the weather and schedule works out. But that'll be exciting for the buildings to have just a lot better way to communicate with the public of what's going on as they drive by. And then Bright will start probably next month some masonry restoration, so busy down there. Summit Elementary, big impact on the site work with the bus parking lot. There's been a lot of demo already in the 9 days that we've really started this summer. So new sidewalks are going in, and then that'll prepare for milling and paving. Inside, quite a bit of HVAC work. The old boilers are out and have been removed, and now getting ready to prepare for installing the new high-efficiency ones. There's controls going on down there, some plumbing for isolation valves, beginning to replace some unit ventilators in the classrooms. And again, there we've got some of the air off, so we've got dehumidifiers and fans moving air throughout. So just keeping an eye on that the best that we can, but so far the plan's working really well. North Dearborn, we just got a couple exterior doors we're going to be replacing this summer, and then we'll also be doing some HVAC controls, a little bit kind of behind the scenes more. But next year, North Dearborn will be impacted with a lot more going on the outside. So this is the mild time for North Dearborn. At the middle school, we continue the renovation of the ag room. It's getting close to getting wrapped up. If you've driven by, the front bus lot is been demoed as far as the sidewalks. Almost all the sidewalks have been replaced. They got a few more to do, and then that'll be prepared for milling and surfacing, repaving. Doing a little bit of epoxy flooring in the couple custodial closets that we didn't do last go around. And then the art room's getting LED lighting because it's right next to the ag room, so we're going to bring those together with both. We'll have updated LED lighting. We added some sound panels in the aux gym. I think that's the wrong word. Decreased sound. So basically some absorption panels in the aux gym. All the hard surface in there is really noisy, and so we were able to soften that up, and it's made a significant difference from before and after. Finishing up at the high school, soccer turf is ongoing. Had a real wet spring, of course, and they pushed hard. Watching that schedule real closely right now as we've had some weather delays, and we've got to, as the owners will keep the schedule pushing hard to stay on schedule so we complete at the proper time. So new maintenance building is ongoing, and then a lot of HVAC work occurred. Of course, we're sitting here because we are out of the high school. So they finished up Tuesday afternoon. So basically from Monday, the crane showed up after graduation, and then the following Tuesday, they set 15 rooftop units. That was moving the crane 3 times. We worked real hard to keep everything barricaded off and communicate. Told some people they had to move, told them they didn't have to move, told them they had to move, told them they didn't have to move. But it flowed really well, and that is accomplished, and we're pleased with that. And now we've got the next 2-3 weeks of getting those systems rewired up and made to run. So right now the schedule looks like that those units will start coming online in about a 2 or 3 week period. And again, at the high school, lots of fans moving. We've got dehumidification units in there as well, so protecting other areas, and we're sharing air that's running throughout the building. So it's pretty comfortable for the most part right now. The media center, that renovation started right away. It's underway, and then that'll go ongoing through the fall, where we get that back basically at Thanksgiving. So a lot going on. The north parking lot, that demo started this week. Looks totally different, and that's underway. So that will be ongoing as we start a year. We've got a good plan to deal with our movement of visitors into our buildings, and staff parking will be clustered, be a little bit tighter, but we have enough parking, and get to work early and you won't have to walk far in the rain, type of mentality. So we're selling VIP parking. We'll see how it works out to raise money for athletics. So, but, and then the central office and the front office received new carpet. It's all down. They've got just a few more things to do, and then our furniture will start going back in there to prepare us for our return. Ongoing things within the Performing Arts Center with stage lighting and some other work. And then we're going to squeeze in a couple, 3 classrooms of carpet this year that we were planning on doing over a break. So that's kind of a little bit get ahead type of thing. The field house got new wall padding. And then also coming up here at the end of June, the athletic office will get new carpeting. So very busy and a lot of effort. Appreciate all of our sub-trades that have worked on our project. They've been very respectful, been safe. We have a good team all through our tiers. And the team at Maxwell is very well-staffed, and we have a good flow going right now. So I'm very appreciative of our processes and feel like we're accomplishing a lot, and we're doing it in a safe manner, and we're protecting other areas better this time than we did in the past from what we've learned. So we feel that our cleanups and things like that will be a lot smoother as we retake the facilities, come back into those areas. So, but going well.
Any unexpecteds other than weather?
Not too much, just, there's always things with a little bit of drawings and what's vague or what has to be worked out and what gets looked at. Kind of normal on that regard, but nothing unforeseen other than a little bit of weather. So,
Good.
Training.
yeah, that's all. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you. All right, moving on to item 7, financial report.
Thank you. In your package, you have the May fund report. About the 3rd week of May, I think we received the majority of our Dearborn County taxes. The property tax came in and some of the license, so that's included in your balances here. I actually received Ripley County's property. I received everything actually from Ripley County today, their property, their license, their CVET, and their FIT. So you'll see those reflected on the June. We will be making our lease payments this month, as well as our pension debt payment before June 30th. So that's when the debt service and pension debt will drop back down. As you can see, everything is pretty much the same as last month. We have our reimbursable grants down the right side, and the construction fund is in there as well, as it is each month. And then on the next page is the education fund projection. Not a lot of changes for the month of May, which is good. And if you flip the next page, same thing with operations, pretty much as we had planned. And then together, we're at a little bit under 24% cash balance. Does anybody have any questions?
We did adjust these forecasts to reflect the presentation at the last month with the reductions and the, both expenditures mostly. There's some education fund reductions. There's no property tax reductions in this one. That'll be in 26.
All right. Questions, anyone? All right, moving on to SDA comments. Nothing? Came all this way? Okay. All right. All right, we'll move on to superintendent comments.
Just a couple. One, on behalf of the high school front office, I'd like to thank the middle school for hosting them this summer and for a few more days. We do have a few high school folks that work year-round, but most of them will be done in the next, 7 or 8 days. And then I want to, on behalf of the central office team, want to thank the North Dearborn front office as well for hosting us. They've been very gracious, and it's worked out quite well, because there would be no way we could possibly work over there. And just wish everyone a happy summer. That's all I have.
Okay. All right, moving on. Any board comments this evening? No board comments? I have a comment slash topic, I'll call it. Before our exec session, Scott mentioned that the North Dearborn Park was coming along and looking good. And I agree with that. I drive past it every day. I think they've made a lot of progress in the time that they have been able to do things over there. I attended a fundraiser, I guess I'll call it, a party. Mr. Gellert was there. He got to dance a jig, which I got to witness. But I did not take said video. Did a great job. But anyway, in that event, it became very clear that they are moving along with the monies they have, but they struggle tremendously to get grants because of the way our lease is written and because of the rules of these grants. So I'd like to propose that we look at that again and see if there's an alternative at a future meeting, maybe next meeting, and talk about if there's some other options. I've done a little homework. There are some things I think we can do that doesn't change what they're doing. It doesn't change what we're doing necessarily, but it opens the doors for them. So if that's all right with everyone, I'd like to talk about that at a future meeting, perhaps the next meeting.
Next meeting or the next regular meeting?
Doesn't matter to me. We probably have a super light agenda at the next June 26th. If we wanted to do it then, it could almost be a work session type thing. But I don't know who's all attending, so we can figure that out if everyone, I guess, lets me know how many are going to be at that meeting. You won't be there? Okay.
Let's do the regular meeting then.
Do the regular meeting, that way everybody's on board.
Whatever.
Could you run a work session before the regular meeting?
We could. But you can't come on the 26th.
No, I mean in July.
Oh, it's okay with me. It's whether everybody else is good with that. Or do you want to do
We
that?
talking 30 minutes?
I don't think it'll take long.
Right.
I think it's quick.
I don't expect the July meeting to be long. It'll be mostly personnel, so.
Just do it then?
Put it as a discussion item.
Well, we can do it then.
I mean, or we can move that meeting up if we'd have to announce it, but we can move it up a half hour if you wanted to do that, or
Work that day, so I would be pushing to get here at
Just
7
make
again.
it
just keep it 7.
7 o'clock?
So you're
Good
gonna,
at 7?
so I'll talk to you what you want the agenda items to say.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, that's
Okay. All right. Other than that, that's all I got. Enjoy the summer. I don't feel like the air's on in here either.
Yeah.
For everyone's reference.
It's not on, it went to sleep.
Do you guys do that on
Let's set
purpose?
back,
Is
yeah.
this what we do to students?
We keep the meeting short.
Yeah, yeah. No water either this time, so it's been good.
Way to go, Jamie.
You're starting to sound like Sarah. You're-
I know.
you're-
At least mine wasn't on video.
Did you say adjourn the meeting?
I
Is that
did.
what you said?
Yeah, time for adjournment. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we're
Motion.
adjourned. Thank you.